Namaskar and welcome to your own geography class. Why own? Because it's your class. You are going to study in this class and I'm your personal assistant for the geography class. I'm Sukhdeep Kaur. Let's start our today's class with the extra questions part. It means inside the chapter questions, and vice versa to the exercise part. We do start our extra questions class with the MCQ part. So here is the first question in the terms of MCQ, that are the multiple choice questions. So what is the main objective of agriculture? What is particularly to be done in agriculture? Extraction? No, we are not extracting natural resources. This is not about industrial production. This is not about providing financial services. This is all about cultivation on soil and rearing livestock. Combined features for the one term agriculture. Next question. Which of the following is an example of tertiary activity? So what happens or what is to be done in tertiary activities? We should know this first. So what is to be done? Tertiary activities or tertiary sector provides the goods and services. So we have to pick out either the production of not the good, but the produced good is ready to be sold out in the market, or we have to pick a service. So in here, agriculture is a primary activity, manufacturing secondary activity, fishing primary activity. So our tertiary activity here in the terms of services is banking. Got that? Banking is a type of services given to the society. Question number 3. What is the primary input in shifting cultivation? Basically, what is to be done in the shifting cultivation? We use fertilizers? Not at all. There is no connection between fertilizers and shifting cultivation because it is a primitive method of cultivation. Mechanized tools? Not at all. Technology is not even nearby. Pesticides again. Mechanized tools, pesticides, fertilizers, these are related to the modern agriculture. So our remaining answer or the remaining part will be the answer as ash from burnt vegetation is mixed within the soil, as in the terms of adding manure to the soil, organic manure. Next question. Which crop requires high temperature, heavy rainfall, humid climate? So we have already read about that. Jute. Cotton doesn't require heavy rainfall, it requires light rainfall, remember? Then wheat, we have not although discussed the climatic conditions or the soil availability, what kind of soil is required for the wheat part, but certainly it is not the type of soil which requires heavy rainfall and humidity throughout its time period. No. So the answer is jute. Next question. What is the main feature? Main feature of the plantation agriculture. What is to be done in that? Small plots of land and traditional tools are used in the plantation. No. It is to be done in slash and burn or so-called shifting cultivation. So no. Large scale cultivation of a single crop? Yes. But let me discuss first these two also. All the answer is with us. So growing multiple crops, so multiple crops on a single farm, it's not the answer because we are talking about plantation. They are particularly the commercial crops and grown in on a large scale in a farm. So large scale cultivation of a single crop for the commercial purpose, for the selling purpose. Next is, what type of soil is the best suited for rice cultivation? Black is known as cotton soil also, so not the answer. Loamy is good for tea, coffee on the slopes. Sandy is not at all good for agriculture in particular. So our answer is alluvial clay soil. Clay, why so? Because for the cultivation of rice, the quantity of water is required more than enough as compared to the other type of crops. Next is, what is intensive subsistence farming? Intensive, more labor, but to be done for one's own consumption is characterized by. So we have to pick a particular feature out of given 4. The large plots of land with high machinery, not at all. To be done for one's own consumption. Then dependence on forest vegetation. How so? We are talking about agriculture. Growing crops to export, not at all. So answer remains use of simple tools and more labor. More labor in the terms of the farmers are not hiring laborers, but entire family used to participate within the, yeah, it is to be said as participation only, because not only the farmer himself, he is doing the farming with the help of his entire family, wife, kids, likewise. Next is, which of the following refers to the cultivation of grapes? So these are four types of agricultures that are given, and we have to identify which type of agriculture is the agriculture of grapes or cultivation of grapes. Horticulture is the agriculture done for the fruits and vegetables, or vegetables or fruits are grown in horticulture. Sericulture for the silk, pisciculture related to the fishery part remains the viticulture. So viticulture is the cultivation of grapes. Which of the following, very important thing, not an example of a commercial crop? Tea is a commercial crop, rubber is a commercial crop, coffee is a commercial crop, because these are grown particularly for the selling purpose, for the commercial purpose. So answer is wheat crop. It is grown for one's own consumption also. Yeah, of course the surplus part can be sold out. Next question. What is the term for rearing fish? Rearing fish, मछलियों को पालना. Specially constructed tanks and ponds. So, what is the term given to the rearing of the fishes within the specially constructed tanks or ponds? So, it is known as pisciculture. We have just discussed in the almost last MCQ question. Next is, which farming practice involves moving herds of animals in search of fodder and water? So, don't you think so? We have already discussed about this nomadic herding, within which people are doing the agriculture as well as they are rearing the herds. Herd is a group of sheep and goats. Yeah, it is a united term given to the group of sheep and goats. So, unko herds kaha jata hai. So, nomadic herding is the correct answer. What is another name for shifting cultivation? So, that is slash and burn. I have already informed you about this part. Next question. What is the process of using organic manure and natural pesticides instead of chemicals called? So, entirely the agriculture is done on the organic basis without the help of artificially developed fertilizers, pesticides, manures, etc. etc. So, it is to be known as organic farming. Organic farming means entirely done without the help of technology. So, whatever is present in the nature, we are utilizing that. And it is quite healthy farming, because whatever produce is obtained from the organic farming, it is quite the healthy version of the modern day farming, and it is sold out at good prices, because nowadays you can't find a single crop that is grown without the help of technological advancement in the terms of pesticides, fertilizers, organic manure, that is urea, etc. Next is, what is the science of rearing silkworms, commercially known as? We have already discussed that, sericulture. In this, silkworms are reared on the mulberry trees, and from there we do obtain the silk from the silkworms. Now, lengthy type of questions. Explain the types of farming. Basically of two types, subsistence farming and which type of farming? Commercial farming. So, subsistence farming, it is practice, it is done to meet the needs of the farmer's family for one's own consumption. So, this is not the difference. Basically, we are just writing the things in the para, but in the point form. It utilizes low levels of technology, either no use or least use of technological things, likewise pesticides, fertilizers, HYVCs, etc. And household labor. Household labor, more labor or out of the family labor is not hired. Entire family used to do this kind of agriculture while helping each other, and the produce is a small output just for own consumption. We do have the parts, and then comes the commercial part, commercial farming. So in the subsistence we do have intensive, that requires more labor. So cultivation of small plots using simple tools and more labor. It permits growing of more than one crop, not the multiple crop annually. So it can be rice, wheat, max to max 3 crops, not more than 3 crops in a year are grown. Prevalent, it is at present in practice in the densely populated monsoon regions of South, Southeast and East Asia particularly. Just look for the example. Rice is particularly done in the southern part. Moving with the second part of the subsistence farming or subsistence agriculture, that is primitive, to be done with the primitive old methods. So it includes shifting cultivation and nomadic herding. So rearing of the livestock along with the agriculture by clearing a small plot of land where the trees are cut, slash, and the remainings are burned, and the ashes are or ash is mixed with the, you can take up the word ashes. Again, you have to consider the grammatical part that will be in the upcoming sentence. So the remaining ash is mixed with the soil as an organic manure to improve the fertility of the soil. So shifting cultivation involves clearing forests, burning vegetation, growing crops until soil fertility is lost. So finally, if the soil fertility is lost, then this plot of land will be left abandoned and the nomadic herders will move ahead and they will do the agriculture over there while following the same method of slashing the trees, burning the remains likewise. Nomadic herding involves moving animals in search of water and fodder. Fodder, the food crop of the animals. Then commercial farming, crops are grown and animals are reared for selling purpose in the market. It includes large scale farms, use of machinery and significant capital because technology is involved, machinery is involved, modern equipments are involved, likewise for the harvesting purpose, sowing purpose and various other concerns. Now for commercial, we do have variety, matlab types of commercial crops. So commercial grain farming, in which a particular type of grain is grown on a large scale with the help of again technology and model tools and equipments. So common in temperate grasslands of North America, Europe and Asia because over here large farms are present. They are naturally occurring. So they are utilized for the commercial grain farming. And what type of crops are grown? Wheat and maize are the major crops grown in these regions under this type of farming. Next is mixed farming. So within which crop cultivation and livestock rearing is done. Both are done. By the either side of the large farm, good amount of animals or livestock are reared within their natural environment, and of course from that dairy products and along with meat is to be extracted. And on the other side, on the rest of the large farm, cultivation is done. Within the plantation agriculture, a particular plantation crop is grown on the large scale, again with the help of the technology and modern tools and equipments. So single crop farming of tea, coffee, rubber, these are plantation crops for commercial use, entirely for selling purpose. And of course, rubber, tea and coffee can't be used on large scale within one's own family. So certainly it is to be done for the commercial part. It requires large labor, large capital investment because within which more labor required payment as well. So this is the particular concern. Next is what are the major crops? So we have to discuss few major crops names along with their basic requirements for the growth. So what are the basic features required for the growth? Again, two. We have already discussed in the chapter, in the exercise part. Now again we are discussing here. So in the exercise part we have discussed that climatic conditions and soil. Two prime features over here also. Along with climatic condition, soil is responsible for the basic growth or for the growth of the plants, growth of the crops. So here is the answer. So first major crop we are taking over here is rice. It is a staple food. Staple means it is to be consumed in routine or daily we are consuming the rice. So staple food of tropical India subcontinent and subtropical regions of the world. So tropical and subtropical means, let me draw a smaller version of the earth. Equator, then here are both the tropics. So if you are talking about the tropical regions, so the regions from where the tropics are passing. Subtropical region, it means this region and this region. The regions nearby the tropics, that comes in subtropical region. I hope it's clear. Okay. 2 points are remaining. Requires high temperature, high humidity and rainfall, not the heavy rainfall, remember, but it needs stranded water. Stranded water, the water that is or the farm that is filled with water for quite a duration, then grows best in alluvial clay soil. That is good for the cultivation of rice. Another major crop over here is wheat. It is also one of the staple food, but of northern India, but not entirely the northern India, so we are not considering it as staple food. It requires moderate temperature and rainfall during growth, and it thrives in means it grows in well drained loamy soil. Millets, another major crops, मोटा अनाज जिसको कहा जाता है. Hardy crops like jowar, bajra and ragi can grown on less fertile and sandy soil. Example is Rajasthan itself. Maize, another major crop. It needs a moderate temperature, rainfall. It means moderate rainfall along with well-drained fertile soil. No stranded water, no heavy rainfall, nothing likewise, simple irrigation, and up to the extent whatever part is required by the cultivation of the maize. There are some other. Cotton. It requires high temperature, light rainfall, bright sunshine. Grows best. Bright sunshine, remember for the cotton what we have discussed, it needs 210 frost-free days. So that means bright sunshine days. And it grows best in black and alluvial soil. Best soil is black, so the black soil is also known as cotton soil and particularly grown in the regions of Maharashtra and Gujarat. Just extra information, nothing else. Next is our jute. Jute requires high temperature, heavy rainfall, humidity. Coffee needs a warm temperature, wet climate and well-drained loamy soil. Coffee, told you, onto the mountainous slopes. Similarly with the tea, it requires cool climate, likewise the eastern part of India. High rainfall, likewise eastern parts of India, and gentle slopes, likewise eastern parts of India. So, I hope you have come to know what I want to say or state over here, that tea is particularly grown in the eastern part of India and somehow in the mountainous region of the South India also, within the Nilgiri Hills parts, because that lies by the Tamil Nadu and Kerala borders along with Karnataka. So, it is sharing place in between, not in the center of the three of the states, but the common area of three of the states. Next is discuss the factors influencing agriculture. Again, what? The soil and climatic condition and physical factor, that calls for soil factor. So, topography of the soil, availability of water for the irrigation, climatic conditions like temperature and rainfall. So, these are the physical factor that are visible, we can touch them, we can feel them. Talking about the other factors, that is human factors, so use of technology, HYVCs, pesticides, fertilizers, then technological advanced or developed manure, that is urea, likewise, so availability of labor, government policy and market demand. All these factors depend on the human. So, there are two types of factors, physical and human factors. Next question. What steps can be taken to develop agriculture? So, government's role is quite vital in this. Increase in cropped area, utilize more land for farming so that we can meet up the growing demand of the growing population. Improvement in irrigation, develop better irrigation facilities. It means no wastage of water, wise usage of water. Use of high yielding HYV seeds. So, with the usage of HYV seeds, we can get double. I'm saying that just the double of the usual seeds. If we are growing the organic seeds or the normal seeds without the interference of technology, so we are going to get whatever output. So, the output obtained by the usage of HYV seeds will be at least double of that. So, we can easily meet up the demands. But there is one disadvantage in the usage of HYV seeds. What's that? It requires more and more usage of pesticides, fertilizers, along with more and more use of water for the irrigation, because they are artificially developed seeds chemically developed seeds, technologically developed seeds, so they do need more water. So adopt advanced seed varieties to enhance the productivity. Mechanization, employ modern machinery to reduce manual labor. So more and more mechanized farming can be done. Judicious, wise use of fertilizers. As I've told you, one disadvantage of the usage of HYV seeds that we have to use more and more fertilizers. Still, we can use it in controlled manner as well. It depends on humans entirely if they are not greedy enough. So, apply chemical and organic fertilizers for better crop yield, but the judicious use. That's why this word has been mentioned. Food security, focus on increasing food production to meet the demand of the growing population that I have stated at first itself. So, that's all about today's class, this chapter number 3. This chapter is ending over here only. In the next class, of course, we are going to meet up in the next class. Over there, we are going to start our chapter number 4. So, what's the chapter's name? What's mentioned in that? Kindly go ahead and have a simple reading so that you should know prior to our class what exactly we are going to talk about or discuss about. So, see you soon in the next class with the discussion of the chapter number 4. Till then, take care. Keep focusing on to your studies. Bye-bye.